platform.
Do you know?
6 voting.
But that point of view is
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to Career Dynamics. I am Anushri Roy. Career Dynamics is a platform where we believe every career has a compelling story. Here you will receive the guidance from the best of best. We will be tracing the threads of their path and how you can apply these lessons to your own career. We are fortunate to give you an insightful overview about the various career paths. As it is said, the rapid progress in biotechnology is transforming the way we diagnose, treat, and prevent diseases. That absolutely goes with our guest. On that note, I would like to introduce Professor Dr. Rudra Prasad Saha, the Dean of Life Science and Biotechnology, Adamas University, with us, who is not only an esteemed scientist but also an academician and a recognized leader with numerous awards for his contribution in biotechnology over the years. So before starting today's discussion about career in biotechnology, I would like to know something about your journey. Like, can you share some of your key experiences that shaped your career?
Absolutely. Let's start with my studies during my undergraduate and postgraduate years. At that time, I have done my undergraduation in the year 1999. At that time, biotechnology has started. Uh, th- there are not many universities or colleges where you will find undergraduate or postgraduate programs in biotechnology. It just started at that point of time. So we are not that much aware about biotech or the related field. So anyway, I started my undergraduate in Ashutosh College under Calcutta University. I did my BSc in botany. At that particular time, people were more inclined to do botany, undergraduate in botany or zoology or biochemistry. Biochemistry came little late. So the mother subjects were zoology and botany in biology, because we have all done, we have all studied biology or life science in class 10 and class 12, and after that the subject that you are going to study, it's either zoology or botany 25 years ago. Okay, I'm talking about 25-30 years ago. So that was, and then some, if you want to study application oriented biology, then students went for biochemistry. So now those subjects are almost obsolete, because now, as you mentioned the biotechnology. Biotechnology is a multidisciplinary field. It encompasses everything, all mother subjects, not only in biology but also in others. For example, engineering, you have management, you have law, all combined, and obviously social sciences. So combined multidisciplinary subject. So obviously it evolved over the years, and now it is talk of the town. Everybody is interested to study biotechnology or the allied field. So anyway, so I started, as I mentioned, after completion of my undergraduate in botany, I then went for in Rajabajar Science College, completed my masters in biophysics and molecular biology. Biophysics and molecular biology, again applied biology. So I don't want to stick to only the classical biology subjects. I want to explore and to study more multidisciplinary oriented subject. So that's why I went for biophysics and molecular biology, which was offered from Rajabajar Science College in Calcutta University. So completed that in 2001, and then I went for my PhD in biochemistry in Bosch Institute, and eventually completed in 2007 from Jadavpur University, and then went to USA for my postdoctoral study in a completely different subject, when I worked on antimicrobial resistance, how diseases can be prevented, developing antimicrobial, which you know as antibiotics. So new age antibiotics or antimicrobials. So I worked in San Diego State University in California for 3.5 years, and then I went to the University of Texas at Austin, worked there for another 3.5 years. So almost 7 years, 7.5 years, and then come back to India and joined Adamas University. Adamas University at that point just started in 2015, and since then I took care of the Department of Biotechnology as a head initially, and then eventually the biotech and the other departments, microbiology and biochemistry, came together to form the School of Life Science and Biotechnology in 2018, and since then I head that school for last six years. So as I mentioned, started from a very basic biology subjects and then explored different multidisciplinary application oriented biology, and eventually I want to give back to the students, because biotechnology, as I mentioned, is a multidisciplinary field today and you need to learn a lot. It is not only students, even as a teacher, every teacher also needs to upscale, upgrade their knowledges, because it's ever changing field. Now people are talking about AI/ML. AI/ML is a very integral part of biotechnology today. So you need to learn a little bit of engineering and computer science too, and use that tool. So all these are tools. You use the tools, analyze your data in your field, and give you a certain analysis which would be important for the society. That's what we are doing.
That's an amazing journey that you have just shared with us, sir. So, what inspired you to pursue your professional career in this field?
That's a very important question. At that point of time, 25-30 years back, I was not as much as informed as you are guys now. You have a lot of tools available at your hand, you know a lot of information. We were kind of, basically we asked our parents and our guardians or the teachers. Sometimes even teachers are also not aware of the different or the upcoming subjects that's probably going to rule the world in next 25-30 years. So anyway, I loved biology, and that's why I pursue botany in undergraduate, because at that time those subjects were available. Okay, either you go for botany or zoology. These are the basic mother subjects in biology. So I went for botany, did not liked it anyway, studied for 3 years because it's too much of memorization and there are little application. So that's why I shifted to the biophysics and molecular biology, because I want to do certain application oriented biology which eventually will help me to grow in my field. But as I mentioned, it's so now when I teach my students, I think that after 5 years or after 10 years, the student has to survive in this particular job or industry wherever he is or she is placed. So I have to think ahead what would be the next topic or subject related to the mother subject that will rule the world. So that's why I mentioned about AI. So as a teacher, we all came from academics, but now a large student population going for job in the industry. So there is a disconnection. So we have to learn from others also, from industry per se, and that incorporate into our syllabuses, and that's what we are trying to do, so that our students can become more effective when delivering in the real world problems. That's what we are trying. Thank you.
Right. All right. Thank you, sir. On that context, can you brief us about the programs regarding biotechnology which is available in your university?
Yeah. So at Adamas University, we have under School of Life Science and Biotechnology, which I head. Under that, there are two departments: Department of Biotechnology, where we provide undergraduate and postgraduate programs in biotechnology. So we have both 4 years of BSc Honors Biotechnology program, also BTech, which is also 4 years programs under approved by AICTE. So we have two 4 years undergraduate program. One is BSc Honors in Biotechnology as per the National Education Policy, and the other is AICTE approved the BTech in Biotechnology program. Both are 4 years. Also we have masters programs, which is MSc in Biotechnology as well as the MTech in Biotechnology. These are the 4 undergraduate and postgraduate programs. In addition, we also offer PhD degree in biotechnology. And in the other department, the Department of Biological Sciences, we offer undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in biochemistry and in microbiology. Also PhD programs are also there in both those streams. So, these are the subjects that we offer.
All right. So, do you think that the students or the aspiring students, they have the awareness that you were talking about this subject?
Yeah. So, if you ask me about awareness, I would say that they are not very much aware of the vast field of biotechnology. Biotechnology is not about biology, as I mentioned earlier. It encompasses multiple other disciplinary field. So, for example, you want to develop a particular vaccine, which is very common example. Because of COVID-19, we all know about how vaccines can be developed within 1 year. However, it usually takes about 5 to 10 years. There are lot of regulatory hurdles. However, that can be compressed because of we have an emergency, worldwide emergency. So, anyway, so if I consider vaccine development from start, from identification of molecule to delivering that particular vaccine to all the outlets where all the people can get the benefit of. So, it is not only about biology, only about research. Once through research you found something, a molecule, you discovered a molecule, but when you are going to market it, you have to think about lot of other things also. For example, you need to know management, how that you need to look logistics or supply chain. For example, if that vaccine has to be kept in -20° freezer or in a -80° freezer, how you are going to transport it from the production house to all the delivery that were in the hospitals. You have to keep in the storage, then you have to create a cold supply chain. That you have to know management. Engineering comes, how you are going to engineer the particular molecule in such a way that it would be more effective. So, and then regulatory laws are very important, because you are going to apply that vaccine to everyone. What would if it has certain adverse effect? So, you have to think about in the regulatory point of view also, understand the law, whether we can apply that to children or adults. Those things has to be considered. So, multiple things will come, not only biology, but other things also are important. So, you need to learn. So, everybody, so that awareness, I would say, is not there. And another thing which is not there, I would that market demand, whether what I am studying in my courses, whether that would be applicable to when we go to the industry. When I am particular student is looking for a job, go to the industry, and they find difficulty, because those things that are required in the industry probably have not been taught in the classes. So, there is a gap. That gap has to be bridged somehow by either industry has to come to us, or as an academician I have to go to the industry. So, once those bridges will be made, the two domains will come together, and then that is what Adamas University is trying to do. We regularly visit industry, invite industry personnel, understand their demand, try to incorporate that in our syllabus, so that when we deliver in the classes, students are aware about what is happening, not only in what happened in the last 100 years, what is going to happen in the next 20 years. But this awareness is not there in the students, because they also have to visit industry, they have to do their internship in industry, not in academic perspective. Otherwise, there will be a lot of expectations that would not be matched. So that is why we try to encourage students to visit industry, work, spend certain period of time, not 15 days or 1 day visit, but a considerable period of time, maybe 1 semester in the industry, then they will understand. Because it is not only vaccine industry, there is a food industry, there is a packaging industry, there is a hospital industry, the pharmaceutical industry, there are n number of industry related to biotech. They need to learn.
Right, absolutely, sir. So, how do you see the role of biotechnology in healthcare evolving over the years, like over the next few years?
Healthcare is the big market, not only for biotechnology, but lot of medical field also is there, pharmacy is there. So, pharmacy, medicine and biotechnology together comprises the whole sphere. So, healthcare, if you consider 20 years back, then healthcare is based on the interactions between doctor and patients. Nowadays, it becomes more digitalized, or I would say instrument based, where the patient has to go visit different diagnostic centers, be tested through either through blood or other aspects, and get the data. Those data points are very important. Earlier probably doctors, because they have a lot of experience, they can actually properly diagnose. Nowadays there are patient volumes are very high, so one-to-one interaction, the time becomes shortened. So you cannot deliver when interacting with half an hour, probably I would understand all the your history, patient history, and probably the older doctor would be able to take an informed decision because of the interaction for a longer period of time. Now you don't have that much of time. Within 5 minutes you have to take probably 10 patients or 2 patients. So you need data points, and data points, all the diagnostics through blood testing or other testing, other organ testings. Once those data points are there, you can have an informed decision. So understanding of these diagnostic industry or medical devices industry, because now there are a lot of biosensors. Now you can, at your home you can test your blood glucose level. Okay. So everything is, this sensor technology has evolved in such a way that now at home you can become a doctor. You have lot of devices available that you can test, get the data point. Now you go to doctor with those data points, and doctor would be able to have a informed decision. So these all are advancement of medical field associated with biotechnology and pharmacy. Now we know that doses are also important, very important, because we studied pharmacy. A person which is on 50 kg of weight and the person who is 100 kg of weight, you cannot give them same amount of paracetamol if there is a pain in the body. So it depends on the weight and other aspects also. So those informed decisions now we can, the healthcare industry personnel can make because advancement of this. So here the students has to, as I mentioned, has to learn not only biology or the reaction pathway or biochemistry, they have to learn how the sensors are working. So they need to learn the engineering. Okay. And then they also need to learn what particular dosage that a person, irrespective of or in relation to what the body weight is, what to apply. So these come from advancement of the technology, knowledge, experience, and with time we are trying to incorporate those in our syllabuses to help our students.
All right. So how do you encourage a culture of innovation and creativity among your faculty members and students?
Innovation is important because, as I mentioned, the field is evolving. Not only in biotech field or biology field or applied biology field, but all fields are evolving. And innovation, without innovation you cannot progress. As I mentioned, the small innovation, now you can the oximeters are there. You can check your oxygen, blood oxygen level. You can check your blood glucose level. All those are available because of these advancements. So an advancement means innovation. Small thing, you can also check your blood oxygen level or glucose level. Go to the dispensary or the diagnostic center, do those testings, and after 1 day or 12 hours you get the data. But now within a minutes you can get the data because there is innovation happened. Innovation not only developing new ideas, but also the ideas was there, now it becomes accessible to all the people. So that is also innovation. So we try to inculcate those ideas to our students also. So based on their liking, they try to develop a concept. Not all concepts eventually transformed into a product, some concept will, and that is how some of our students actually able to pitch their ideas in various forums. They have also won the Smart India Hackathon prizes from Government of India, the first prize. So those happened because we tried to push our students to think beyond the box, outside of the box. Not outside of the box means the syllabus. Syllabus is the box. You have to study or think outside of the syllabus also, then only you can perform well.
Right. Okay. So as you mentioned that with the rapid advancement in biotechnology, AI driven drugs discovery has gained a significant importance. So what are your thoughts on the challenges associated with this?
Yeah, AI is very important. AI, the machine learning is an data structure, how data can be utilized, studied and get meaningful informations. These you need to learn. Not only every student has to learn, because every student irrespective of his or her field now working on a large data, large amount of data. But manually you cannot process that large amount of data. Human man can only process certain amount of data. Person to person there is a variation. However, if I give you 10 patient data, you can probably would be able to analyze in a couple of days, but I give you 10,000 of those data, then you can't. So that's why we need to utilize the technology which is available, that is machine learning or data science, that is already there. It is not a new term. Term is new, but everything behind that is already developed in the last 50 years. So use those technology. The problem is that it is not only for students, even teachers are not very much aware of those AI technologies and data sciences. They always think that it could be a very difficult thing to do. I need to learn coding and other things, need to learn computer science, then only specifically for non-STEM students, they fear that it probably very difficult, but it is not. You do not need to learn lot of codings and other things, but the basic how, because eventually you are going to use certain programs or softwares that based that behind those programs there is AI ML, but you need to learn how to use those programs, because your data has to be processed through those programs. So if you do not know how those programs are actually working, the logic behind it, you won't be able to interpret the data, that the whatever the conclusion or inference you are getting from those data, it would be difficult. So you need to learn, you need to understand, and that's why Adamas University also have taken a step to incorporate AI for all. There would be probably a subject related to AI that every student has to learn. But it is not only for students, the faculty members also have to be upskilled, because many of faculty members probably do not know, they probably know about little bit of AI, but in a structured way they probably do not know. So they also need to learn. Once they learn, they would be able to incorporate or give or transform or provide the data points to the students, then students would be able to learn easily. So our aim is to upskill all the faculty members related to AI ML irrespective of all the programs, and then eventually transfer those knowledges to the students irrespective of all streams, so that because it is AI is the talk of the town, everywhere you will see there is AI attached to certain things. That not necessarily means that AI is there, but however everybody has to learn.
So as you mentioned, as the reason of technology, so it might be difficult for the students or the faculties to like cope up with so many technologies at the same time. So what are the steps which should be taken to ensure responsible innovations?
Yeah, so you are right, because sometimes it could be all those information could be overwhelming and difficult to comprehend for students, even for the faculty members, because they constantly have to learn new things. So I would say that step by step there should be a structured way by which you can study. If you want to study everything at a one point of time or within a short period of time, it would be very difficult, because you need to understand how the technology works. You may not need to know everything, because until unless you are specifically working on that particular problem which requires a very specific technology. Understanding of the knowledge of multiple things are important, because the today's the industry or academia are all multidisciplinary. They are work in a particular problem that requires inputs from multiple fields. So it is important, like jack of all trades, master of none, but it is important that you know a lot of things, otherwise initiating something would be very difficult. Okay. However, when you learn a lot of topics with time, because you have lot of time. 4 years of undergraduate, there is a lot of time, and we spend, there are a lot of distraction, I would say, that probably create lot of issues. Back our time, there was no distraction, only Doordarshan was there, and sometimes we enjoy and study and play in the field, not in the mobile. So our time is different, but what I would say that nowadays, with all those distraction, also students are very capable of. Now students are much more smarter, like you, but at that time we are not so much smart. We are trying to learn from you. Okay, so you are much more starter. You have smart, and you have more capability, I would say, to comprehend and understand a difficult topic within a short period of time, if you give time for that. So learn with time, slowly, within a period of time, and once you have a problem, try to solve the problem, then you learn everything, how to, because that to solve that problem, develop a product. For example, a biology student, when he or she is trying to develop a sensor, he or she has to learn engineering, electronics, how electronic circuits can be developed around my reaction. Okay. So at that point, he or she has to go to the electronics department, talk to the faculty member, understand how circuits work, right, and then develop the product. So when you have a problem, and you are trying to solve the problem, you learn new things. So before starting giving you the problem, if I ask you to go and learn how circuits work, go to the electronics department, study a particular topic on electronics and communication or computer science or ML, he or she might not be very much interested, and the learning would not be there. However, if they learn through a problem solving, they will learn much better. So that's what happened to the students. That's why we trying to give students a problem and let's solve it. Not from the faculty members, do not take help. You can take help from the biologists, but also take help from the engineering or other department or law or media, whenever it is required. So through that learning, that way students might learn faster, and you are smart enough, you would learn faster, much faster than us, for sure.
All right, thank you. Absolutely, sir. So, do you believe that initiative like podcasts should be conducted more frequently to enhance awareness and knowledge sharing in science?
Absolutely. This is a very good medium to convey messages which are important and sometimes are difficult to find out, because as there are a lot of noises are there. So these any medium which like a podcast is important, not only in your field related to media science and other, but also all fields where I can give out certain information which would be probably important for the students or the faculty, but even for us, because I also learn, and podcast would be a little bit more relaxed environment rather than you are going to give a lecture, and I could have much more time and give out more specific information that we discussed a lot of things today, which probably within a short period of time it would be difficult to convey, but this medium is definitely important, and I would suggest that you do those kinds of programs more frequently, not only with the faculty members but also with the students, how they feel, and they might have a lot of things to say, right? So very much important.
Absolutely. So that's a very insightful perspective we received about the advancement in biotechnology. So, and before we wrap up this conversation, any message that you would like to convey to the students, the researchers or the professionals who are aspired to contribute to the field of biotechnology?
Yeah, so I would say that you study whatever there in the syllabus, that is very important. However, you go outside of your field. Outside of the field means outside of your university or college, and work for a short period of time in the industry. Even if you want to go for higher studies or become a researcher, understanding industry is very important in today's era, because a lot of innovations are happened in the industry or happening in the industry, and there is a big division, I would say, between the how the way the industry is teaching their colleagues or their workers and the way we are teaching our students. But eventually most of the students are probably going to work in the industry. So, if you do not have those ideas what they are doing, that is why every industry trains students before they onboard them, they train them for 1 year or 6 months or 2 years based on different types of industry. Those costs would be minimized and they would be happy to onboard our students much easier and welcoming way if you learn what they are going to teach them through those onboarding processes for 6 months or so. It is important more industry connection, certification, lot of certification courses are there that are important, which are probably we are not teaching in the syllabus related to industry or for a particular subject that are not there but upcoming they can do, and they do lots of hands on, I would say, laboratory based, because if you do not work in the field, it could be field, it could be laboratory, it could be elsewhere in the industry. If you do not have hands on knowledge, you will lag behind, because theoretical knowledge and when you are going to apply that particular knowledge in a problem solving environment, you will find there are a lot of gaps. Whatever written in the protocol, something is there, it is not written, because otherwise the protocol would be like several pages long. So, protocol has to be concised. So, those in between line you will learn with experience when you work in the industry. So, I would go outside of your environment or comfort zone, talk to people, work voluntarily, learn new things, and eventually that will help you.
Thank you once again, sir, for taking your time out and joining us today at
Thank
this
you.
show. So, we acknowledge your contributions and expertise for the future of life science and biotechnology education.
Okay. Thank you inviting me in the Media Dynamics program, and we discussed today about biotechnology and its the various types of career that a particular biotechnology students can go for eventually. Thank you again, and these particular discussion would be available in the Media Dynamics segments of Adamas Now YouTube channel, and you can visit YouTube and find out the Adamas Now channel, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe.
And to our listeners, if you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel Adamas Now.